Welcome along, fellow time travelers. This time around, we're checking out a town called Swannanoa in North Carolina, which, as you can see, has been tragically affected by Hurricane Helene. I'm going to be showing you some really disturbing images which you're going to find difficult to get out of your mind. But if I can shoot it, you can watch it. Before I begin, please like and share the show and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. Now let's begin our journey. I would like to remind everybody once again that this clearly is not a tourist attraction, and you certainly should not come here unless you really need to. There's a lot going on, and people's lives have been turned completely upside down. Earlier today I was driving to Chimney Rock, and I'll be sharing those videos at another time. And I gotta tell you, it was pretty scary stuff. Oftentimes, to go up into the mountains, there's just one narrow road that hugs the mountainside, and there were entire sections of road that completely collapsed. And if you deviated just a few inches, you would go tumbling down into the valley. And so I don't know what the locals are doing all the way up there. It seems to me that FEMA should be bringing in trailers for people to live in, but as far as I can tell, that does not seem to be happening. If you know otherwise, please let me know. I'm also going to show you in other videos how neighbors are helping neighbors, and Americans are helping Americans. And churches have really stepped up, as I'm sure synagogues have as well, and most certainly a ton of individuals doing their best to help people out. Because it's really bad. And I've been told more than once that I seem to be the only person with boots on the ground doing this. And I honestly can't wrap my brain around that. I mean, okay, you've got some news footage here and there, maybe a clip on the local news, maybe a few walking tours by people who live locally, but for the most part, nobody seems to be documenting what's happening here. And I can't do everything. So here's what I'd like to do. I'm quite aware that I'm in a fortunate position that I have a little bit of a platform to be able to reach a lot of people. And I think it's really valuable that we document everything. And so I want to make the following offer. If you live in or around this area that has been horribly affected by Hurricane Helene, and you have photos you want to share, and you have videos that you shot, please feel free to reach out to me. And if I can make use out of it, and I can share it in some way to be able to educate people about the nightmare that you and so many others are going through, it would be my great honor to be able to share what you've got here on my platform. You can find my email in the contact information. So if you have any photos or videos, or you want to shoot any, please feel free to reach out at any time. Rather than just walking around and showing you all of the damage and destruction that's been done in the area, I'm going to tell you about this little town called Swannanoa. It's a small community nestled in the Swannanoa Valley, about 15 minutes east of Asheville. Its history is deeply rooted in the Appalachian region's development, from early Native American settlements to its growth during the Industrial Revolution. The town takes its name from the Swannanoa River, which flows through the valley. In fact, the name Swannanoa is believed to derive from a Cherokee word meaning beautiful river. Prior to European settlement, the Cherokee people inhabited the region for centuries, and the area was a vital part of their lives. In the 18th and 19th centuries, European settlers began moving into the area, establishing farms and homesteads. The town remained primarily agricultural until the late 19th century, when industrial development began to take hold. One of Swannanoa's most notable periods came during the Industrial Revolution, when it became home to the Beacon Manufacturing Company. Founded in the 1920s by Charles D. Owen, Beacon Manufacturing became one of the world's largest blanket manufacturers. Hey, look, somebody has to make blankets, right? Employing thousands of workers and dominating the local economy. This brought significant growth to the area, turning Swannanoa into a bustling industrial town. The factory's influence extended beyond the town's economy. Beacon Manufacturing built houses for its employees, creating a community around the mill, and its workers came from all over the Appalachian region. Unfortunately, the factory eventually closed in the 2000s, and that marked the end of an era for Swannanoa's industrial identity. Another significant part of Swannanoa's identity is Warren Wilson College. It's a small liberal arts institution. It's known for its work-study program. It was originally founded as a school for Appalachian children by Presbyterian missionaries in the late 19th century. Warren Wilson has grown into a nationally recognized college. Today, Swannanoa is a small, peaceful town with a mix of agricultural, residential, and small business development, which you gotta admit is kinda cool. We need more small towns and more small businesses. Its proximity to Asheville and the natural beauty of the surrounding mountains make it a popular spot for people seeking a quieter lifestyle within easy reach of the city. The Swannanoa River and its valley offer scenic beauty, hiking and outdoor activities, attracting both residents and tourists. So keep that in mind when you plan on coming here once everything is up and running again. The community still retains the character of its past, with historical remnants of its industrial heritage and its roots as a close-knit Appalachian town. Swannanoa has a rich tradition of music and crafts, with the Appalachian culture playing a vital role in the town's identity. Okay, so now that you know a little bit about Swannanoa, let's talk about the severe damage from Hurricane Helene. As you can see, it brought destructive flooding and widespread devastation to the community. The storm caused significant structural damage, especially where the Davidson Road Bridge collapsed, leaving the area cut off and filled with debris. The residents experienced power outages, and many homes and businesses and vehicles were flooded or destroyed by downed trees and floodwaters. Search and rescue operations were conducted in rural parts of Swannanoa, where reports of missing persons added to the urgency of the recovery efforts. Local landmarks have been heavily damaged. Many residents have expressed concerns about the slow recovery and the shortages of essential supplies like food and water, highlighting the strain of those unprepared for such a disaster. And honestly, who could be prepared for a disaster like this? And thank goodness there are so many wonderful Americans that are contributing supplies. I shot some of that stuff that I'll show in another video. It's amazing how generous so many people have been. Not only contributing food, but clothing and toys and stuffed animals for children. And I even saw some medical kits, and interestingly enough, I saw that people donated crutches and other things that people might normally think, well, should I donate that? And it's like, yeah, somebody might need that. So I'll show more of that stuff in another video. And so yeah, you can see this community has really been hard hit by the torrential rains and the severe flooding. Bridges collapsed, roads were washed away and collapsed. Homes have been submerged or destroyed. So much debris from floodwaters have piled up, and of course power outages have left many areas without electricity and water for days. It's horrifying to think about, but the floodwaters just ravaged this area, and several people have been reported missing. I've been driving around and there are so many downed trees, and the flooding blocked roads, destroyed infrastructure. So many homes and businesses are in complete ruins. And as I've been saying and will continue to say, residents and volunteers and emergency workers have been focused on cleaning debris and rescuing those trapped in isolated rural areas. But the widespread flooding and infrastructure damage has made the recovery slow and challenging for many who have been affected in this small community. As you all know, I was born in and grew up in a very big city, one of the biggest. But there's something really beautiful and ideal about living in these small towns where you see the same people when you go shopping or when you're at church, when you're just interacting in all sorts of ways. And it's just a nice, pleasant, and peaceful and stress-free way to live. So, what do you think about what happened here in Swannanoa? Did you know it was this bad? Trust me when I tell you this video does not do it justice. And there is so much more to see, so please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell because there will be more shows like this one, and I hope you check those out too. Please check out the links below to learn how to support my research and productions. This channel is sponsored by campfireshop.com, where you could order the highest quality and exclusive candles, herbal supplements, teas, and more. I would also appreciate it if you can become a member of my channel and or join me on Patreon, where you can watch exclusive walking tours of cool places that I've been to. You could also leave a super thanks in the comments below. Kindly be kind to all of our fellow earthlings and please do not harm them. They don't like that. Remember to show compassion for all living things. And please do yourself a favor and go to a local shelter and adopt a cat or a dog or both. You and they will be very glad that you did. Until next time, I wish you safe travels on all your journeys.